Remember you bought me an accordion once.
I did buy you an accordion.
Yeah.
Where is it now?
I believe it's in a giant bin.
When people say Graham's on the rich list, I go, I know. I put most of that money into his account.
Once this stops, as in when you stop living together, you must never mention it again. Ever.
To anyone.
To anyone. It must be, it never happened. Hello, and welcome to Wanging On. It's a sort of podcast offering advice, I believe. I'm Graham Norton. That's Maria McCurlin.
I am.
We're not experts, blah, blah,
We're
blah.
not experts. But thank you for telling me what this is about.
Yeah. Well, I felt it's important to set out our stall.
I've often wondered what it was.
Why are we sitting
Why
at this
am I
table?
here?
Why are we at this fake kitchen table?
Why am I talking to you and pretending to be your friend?
Thank you for providing so many objets.
But I am your friend who knows that it's your birthday shortly. Are we doing birthdays still? Aren't we too old?
Well, no, I think you acknowledge them because it's it's always a bit of an achievement. Look, I've made another one.
Yeah,
but
I like none of us are saying the actual age.
Yeah, well, 63.
Yeah,
there.
That's nothing.
I said it.
Yeah. I'm 84.
Well, no, it does feel like nothing, isn't it weird? I thought when I hit 60 that there's no getting around 60's old, and then I hit it and went, oh, actually, it's fine. It's not that bad.
I like looking at the obituaries and seeing how old people are. And then when it says they've got, they were 75, and I think, oh, good, I've got another 10 years or whatever. Just randomly. But we are at an age now where if we die, nobody would say, oh, too young.
No, but they do. Well, no. I feel like if I died, people would go, only 63.
Yeah, it's no age.
Yeah, and there are dying is about the only thing you can do at 63 that makes you sound young. Maybe I should try it.
Maybe getting a natural erection. Is that another one? I don't know. I don't have a penis.
Not yet. Live long enough.
There must be other things that you can do at 63 that people can comment on.
Visit an old people's home.
Yeah. To see.
All those things that make you look young.
Do you have a favourite birthday that you've ever had in your life? Maybe when you were little.
Not really.
Oh.
No, because actually, weirdly, we were one of those families that didn't make a big fuss about birthdays. Some families really did.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really did. And that carries on now into adulthood.
Oh.
Whereas...
excess at birthdays makes me feel a bit queasy.
Yeah. I think I had maybe a couple of birthday parties when I was a kid. My sister had a couple, but that was it. And now... it was my sister's birthday back in January, and I happened to be in Ireland on her birthday, and I said, happy birthday.
Did you buy her anything?
No.
Oh.
Did her card? No.
No.
And she equally will not send me a card or a present. But who cares?
Yeah. Well, you've got enough stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, and also, who cares?
Yeah.
It's just one more thing to have to worry about. I mean, I do feel bad. The only reason I'm still on Facebook is to be alerted to people's birthdays.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I've never seen you on Facebook.
No, I lurk.
Oh, you lurk?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I know, I would never post or do anything on there. No. But it's a good record of when anyone's birthday is. Yeah. What it is.
Well, there's diaries for that.
Yeah, but then you'd have to actually
write things
remember.
down.
Yeah, right. And then you'd have to look at your diary.
Yeah.
No.
And also people with presents at birthdays, I think now we're at this age, this ripe old age, you don't want any more things because we've got
money.
You want money?
Yeah.
I want someone to pay my electricity bill.
Yeah, if you could just write me a check.
How much do you want this year?
Well, it's a big age.
Yeah.
It's a big age.
I gave you $1 million last year. You really want me to increase that?
Well, another $1 million would be welcome. Thank
when
you.
people say Graham's on the rich list, I go, I know. I've put most of that money into his account.
Yeah. Birthdays and Christmas.
$1 million.
Maria.
Nothing less than $1 million will do. I'm famous, don't you know?
Yeah.
So, okay.
It'd be rude to offer anything less.
And cakes, do you like a cake?
Not really. I'm not a big cakey person. No.
Cheese, big slab of cheese?
No. Thanks, my birthday cheese. Thanks. A melted candle in my cheese.
What about, I know what I can do. I can get lovely Sebastian to make you one of those cakes.
Oh, that looks like something.
Yes.
What's that show on Netflix? Is it Cake?
Yes, is it cake or is it a thing?
He should go on that.
Oh, yeah, why hasn't he?
I don't know.
His cakes are very good.
No, amazing looking. I mean, they're proper works of art. They're extraordinary.
But also, you don't want to eat them then because they are works of art.
Yeah. I mean, but you can't keep a cake forever, can you?
I've tried.
But do you remember?
I'm like Miss Havisham with the wedding cake. No one came.
But do you remember back in the day, people would send you a bit of the wedding cake?
Yes.
They don't do that anymore.
No.
Wonder why? Because that seems like a good waste of money.
Because there are other wastes of money at your wedding.
You know the way,
Like releasing doves.
They're always making you think of ways to spend more money at
Yeah.
your wedding. I'm surprised they don't do that.
Well, I think because the post takes so long, it would be well off by the time you arrived at your door.
I've got you a rat in a box.
Also, first-class post is very, very expensive, Graham.
True that. Listen, enough about birthdays. We are here for the people, the listeners.
Is that why?
A dilemma is in our very near future. Maria, do you have a letter?
Do you know, Graham, I do.
Well, isn't that great?
Not in that envelope, though. Or in that one.
And when I say, do you have a letter, I think the answer might be no.
Oh, no, it's here.
Oh, you have it? Oh, marvellous.
I stuffed these earlier. Okay. Dear Graham and Maria, I'm a very lucky man with an amazing family and I love them to bits.
Great.
My wife is particularly devoted to our 14-year-old daughter, which is very sweet, but they're like a proper twosome. Here's what's grinding my gears. It's plain as day to me that, like me, our daughter doesn't have a musical bone in her body. Yet my wife encouraged her to take up the violin a couple of years ago. This is some sentimental significance to my wife, who grew up playing her mother's violin, so she wants it to run in the family, but it clearly doesn't, he puts in capital letters. Even after 2 years of practice and tutoring, the sound my daughter makes when she's playing in her room can be truly atrocious, even painful at times. I really can't see it getting any better, but my daughter is happy to continue, and my wife still thinks she might be about to unlock some sort of God-given talent. I'm going to pull my hair out. What do I do? Please help, Wangers. And that is from Greg. Greg, I hear you, having played the violin myself.
I mean, the violin, of all the instruments you have to give her, a violin.
It is such a cacophony of noise when you don't get it right. I mean, I love the violin when it's played beautifully.
Do you?
Yeah, when it's played beautifully. But you have to get past a certain point. And I think if it's been 2 years, Greg, I'm not sure she's going to make it past that point. I think 2 years was about the time I gave up.
But also, what's amazing is that the daughter is still up in that bedroom, kind of sounding like some cat's being murdered, and thinking,
well, because
I'm
the wife
this.
is praising. The wife is praising and saying, oh, it'll just be round the corner when suddenly you'll be doing Vivaldi's Four Seasons. And that is clearly not going to happen. And if you dig down, Greg, to your daughter, I wonder if she really does enjoy playing, or is she just trying to please mum?
Now, here's the thing, Greg, I think the person you need to talk to here...
Is your wife?
No.
Oh.
Is whoever's teaching this kid the violin. And just go, look, we're 2 years in now. What do you think? Because the wife and the teacher may think, actually, she does have a thing. I think a bit more practice, it is going to get better. Or the teacher might kind of roll their eyes and go, well... if I was I'd stop spending this money.
What if, though, Graham, there is no teacher, it's the wife who is teaching her?
Then there's no hope.
Get rid of the wife and the daughter.
And the violin.
Just leave on a ferry overnight.
Or send them on a busking tour of Europe.
Yeah, they make loads of money. People will feel sorry for them.
Yeah, that poor child, that poor deluded child.
I think, you have to talk to them both, but separately, obviously, because you don't want to make it a big thing. Say to the wife, I'm not sure this is happening. I think he's a bit afraid of his wife, frankly.
Well, because it's sentimental for the wife, because the wife grew up playing her mother's violin. And so there's a kind of a link, a kind of a direct link back to the mother. And she's thinking, I'm going to pass this beautiful gift onto my daughter. Now, beautiful.
It's not a gift, it's a burden.
It's horrible. But I feel like, Greg, you are going to have to listen. You've been listening to it for 2 years. You've been listening for 2 years.
Blind mice, 3 blind mice. That's how it is.
So I think you've listened to it for 2 years. I think you're going to have to listen to it for a bit longer because you are going to really upset these two women in your life, and you don't want to do that.
It may well be that the daughter is quite good at something else, the clarinet, for example.
Or tuning out music. Not listening to things. I remember there was a episode of I Love Lucy years ago, and there was this kind of Romany violinist in her house, and she went, "Is it true you can make a violin cry?" And the guy went, "Yes, it is." And then she got scissors and cut the strings and went, "That should make it hysterical then."
Good joke.
And I remember that from when I was a child. But Greg, I just think 2 years down the line, it's too late now in a way.
Yeah.
You could have rolled your eyes early doors, but now I do think talking to the teacher isn't a bad idea because the teacher might go, to be honest, and then you could say to the teacher, could you please say this to the wife?
To my wife.
That actually, thank you for your custom, but I think you're wasting your money now after 2 years.
It's going to be a terrible blow to the daughter's confidence now. I think that's why you have to tread very carefully here.
But it'd be worse if, who the hell was on my show? Not Ben Affleck. Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller was on the chat show, and there was a clip of him and his sister when they were children.
I loved that clip.
And it was his parents who were a famous double act.
I've seen the documentary.
Yeah.
It's a very nice documentary.
It's a great documentary. And there's a clip, the parents bring them on national television and get the two of them to play the violin. And it's the most awful, because the parents are literally sat there laughing at them and the children seem unaware of how god awful it is. It's really terrible. And I feel like that is, Greg's going to end, that this daughter is going to end up at a school concert with the whole school just going, oh my God, what the hell is that?
I mean, if it's anything like me and my mum when I was playing the violin, one day when I went to, had a violin class, I couldn't find the violin. And so I had to miss it that week. And then I did look for it. And I said, where's my violin? I can't find my violin anywhere. My mum said, I took it back to the school. So, harsh, but fair. I got the message.
Yes.
And kind of I knew secretly that, I wasn't good at the violin.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop me when I'm drunk if there's a violin anywhere.
Really?
Picking it. Yeah.
Wow, you do that. I remember you bought me an accordion once.
I did buy you an accordion.
Yeah.
Where is it now?
I believe it's in a giant bin. No, do you know what? I think it's in storage.
No, it's not.
No,
I mean, it was rather nice.
It was lovely.
It had sort of mother of pearl on it and so on. It was a vintage. Obviously, it's a vintage thing.
Yeah. But I think it's in storage.
It was quite a good objet for your then house, I think.
Yeah. But the objets from that house, I think, are in storage.
In the bin.
No, it's in. I think,
well, stop.
No, exactly. As I'm sitting here, I'm thinking I should be on the phone cancelling storage.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Or what's that show with Storage Wars?
Sell your storage.
Well, no, they go and just break into your storage, don't they?
Oh, no, because they buy the storage. They don't break in.
No, but don't you
Storage Wars?
But I think you stop paying for your storage.
Oh, and then they sell them. The storage company sells them.
And then the storage company goes, do you want what's in this?
Because I've seen people go, I paid $500 for this. And then they go through things and it's an old kettle and they go, that's great. I'll get $10 for that.
Yeah, that's the one. And I think it's an auction, isn't it? You can bid on the various storage units. Yeah. Well, someone would do very well if they got my because there's an old accordion in there. Yeah.
Lovely.
Right, let's find out what the wangers have to say.
Let's do that thing because we clearly haven't helped. Neve says, hi, stressed out dad. There is nothing more frustrating than a parent shoving their dreams on their child. Speaking as a music teacher, I would sit and chat with your wife and ask her honest opinion about your daughter's skills. This talent might have skipped a generation. I would then have an honest chat with your daughter about her playing. Tread lightly here, as she is still a teen and she'll be self-conscious. I would ask her if she actually enjoys it or is she doing it because her mum is delighted to share something with her. Suggest they look for a different hobby together. Yeah, good advice, Neve.
It is, and you're right, 14, so... but the kind of thing, if the mother and daughter are enjoying this kind of mad thing, then just let it play out.
Yeah, go out.
Yeah.
Go down the pub.
Kelly,
Yeah.
not only is she in Dubai,
Oh, wow.
she sent a voice note.
Oh, no.
I completely sympathise with your dilemma. As someone whose 12-year-old briefly took up the recorder, my primary piece of advice is earplugs, and not the foam ones, proper ones. I actually had custom earplugs made by a sound engineer, shaped to my ears, and calibrated for maximum shriek deflection. It was worth every penny. Failing that, take comfort in the cold, hard maths of adolescence. If your daughter is 14, you realistically have about 3 weeks before the violin is tossed aside in favour of boys, girls, existential despair, and vaping.
Wow.
I like that. Especially like the end. Boys, girls, existential despair, and vaping.
That is true.
I think you got that in a nutshell, frankly.
I mean, she really went for it with those earplugs.
Eleanor says, is this really about your instrument, or is this a jealousy thing over your daughter and wife's connection? Learning an instrument is a fantastic thing to do and takes a lot of practice and patience. She may not be the next Hilary Hahn, but so what? There are much worse things a 14-year-old could be involved in. True that. Support her and get over yourself. Quite harsh there from Eleanor.
Yes.
But, good point. Lynn
Who the hell is Hilary Hahn?
I don't know.
I wondered if you did. As you read it, I thought, she doesn't know who Hilary Hahn is.
I'm going to hazard a guess, though, that Hilary Hahn is a very good violin player.
Really good violin player.
Yeah. There was a clue.
I mean, she practiced for years. She's really good. We still don't know who she is.
Or how to pronounce her name. Hahn or Han, I don't know. Lynn in Wimbledon says, I think it's great that your daughter is learning to play an instrument. I'm also impressed that she's happy to continue on with the lessons despite her slow progress. There is no way that you can ask her to stop her tutoring without causing upset and damaging her self-esteem. Tell her you're delighted she's keeping up the practice, but say that the volume makes it hard for you to concentrate on other things. You then present her with an electric violin and headphones.
Who is this? Lynn in Wimbledon is a genius.
Then only she can hear the music she is producing. Silent electric violins can be bought relatively cheaply on Amazon and will save you upsetting your daughter and your wife.
Lynn's cracked it.
Oh my goodness, Lynn, that's brilliant. I'm not even going to read the others. No, I am.
No, that is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But the other thing I would say is, they say, damage your self-esteem. At some point, I think you are being a bad parent.
Yeah, I know.
If you don't go, you're rubbish.
Yeah. I mean, look, my mum just sent it back to the school.
Yes.
Look at me. I'm perfectly sane.
Well, no. The thing you're not doing is, and now to close the show, a tune on the violin.
Until today. 3 blind mice. Let's see what Kathy says. Being a parent or any member of any family isn't all sweet, sweet music. Children are noisy and exhausting. Parents are petty dictators. But it's a glorious time full of laughter, fights and hugs, and it passes so quickly. If you're noise sensitive, get some headphones and applaud her efforts, not with the headphones on. Your daughter will have left home in 4 to 6 short years. I bet you'll miss the squawking then.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Greg, a lot of parents sympathise with your problem, so thanks for writing in. Incidentally, Greg wrote into wangingone@listen.co.uk, and that's our email address, so you could use it if you've got a dilemma. We'll have another one in just a moment. Maria, how do wangers get these episodes as soon as they drop?
Oh, well, you see, Graham, you can tap follow on Spotify or subscribe on YouTube or your podcast app of choice.
Totally free.
Plus, on Spotify, you can tap the little bell icon and then you get notified when a new episode drops.
They really have thought of everything. What a world, Maria.
That's every Monday, by the way.
Maria McCurlin cannot contain her excitement as she rips open envelope number 2.
She does. It should be very easy. 1, 2.
It
But
really
no,
should.
I make a meal of it every time, Graham. Okay. Dear Graham and Maria, my mother-in-law is 70 and has long struggled with her weight. Around 13 years ago, for my sister-in-law's wedding, she lost around 10 stone.
Wow.
But since then, the weight has gradually returned and more. As she's got older, her weight and lack of mobility have slowly become an increasing concern. Over the years, we've all tried in our own way to raise our worries gently but honestly, particularly around her steps each day, her mobility and long-term health. Unfortunately, these conversations never seem to sink in. Even small suggestions like offering to walk around the block together once a week are shut down. Exercise bikes and weights have been bought with good intentions, but they've ended up unused, acting as clothes rails and eventually been given away. She no longer goes to the supermarket and now has all her shopping delivered, meaning even the small amount of walking she used to do has disappeared altogether. We feel increasingly worried about her weight, her diet and her lack of exercise, and the impact these will have on her independence, mobility and health in the years to come. The problem is nothing we've tried so far seems to make any difference. How can we get through to her without pushing her away or making her feel judged? Love the podcast, and that is from Robert. Robert, I know that is coming from a place of concern, but, you know, your mother-in-law is fully aware of everything that's going on. She's fully aware that she's too heavy, that she should get more exercise. You know, there's so much in this world that is, I should be doing this, I ought to be doing this. And, you know, this is her body, her life, and ultimately her decision. I think you have to look at the underlying problems here, or the root of this, because we know she can do it. She did it for the sister-in-law's wedding. When you're 70, what are you doing? You're thinking, I need some comfort, perhaps. I'm a bit lonely. I don't get out. I don't see people anymore because I don't get out. It is that use it or lose it scenario. You keep walking and you will be able to keep walking. So what is making her keep piling on the pounds? You know, you've told it to her and you've said it and other people have said it and she's probably sick of hearing that. I don't know what the solution is other than to tackle the underlying reason. What do you think?
It's so tricky. So she was in her late 50s when she managed to lose 10 stone.
Yeah.
And I think it maybe, we don't know. I mean, I suppose it's one of those things, as the weight comes back, you gradually feel defeated by it.
I think so.
And also because, you know, I've never been that heavy, but when I've lost like 2 or 3 stone, like it's amazing the amount of energy it gives you. You feel so much lighter getting out of bed. So I imagine this woman, everything is an effort right now. So the idea of losing weight is just overwhelming.
You see, she had motivation before for the sister-in-law's wedding. Obviously, at that age, she didn't want to be appearing as the mother with, you know, the chubby mum. But I don't think there's any motivation. There's no reasoning for her. She's probably, you know, because a lot of people reach this age and they kind of go, oh, well, I'll just sit in this chair now until I die.
But I
very
feel
defeated.
Yes, but I think there's also there's a selfishness to it, because Robert and the rest of the kids
will have to look after her.
Are going to have to do everything, and it's going to be so hard. And if she's too heavy to lift, then she'll end up at home so quickly. She's only 70. You know, if she could turn it around,
is that enough of a motivation to know that your children are going to have to do everything? Or is it that you just feel defeated by that? And also, this is what I have to look forward to. My mobility will fade more. I'll get fatter. And, you know, I don't care if I die. It's a bit like that. I feel that she's lost the will now.
Yeah, no, clearly.
You can't give her that. It has to come from her.
But you're absolutely right, Maria. You know, this is not a child. This is not an idiot. This is a 70-year-old woman who has lost weight in the past and must have felt great when she did. But she knows, you know, the fact that she stopped going to the supermarket, that's because it was very tiring dragging herself around to the supermarket.
Yeah.
So it's just...
But is that all she did? Because if that is all she did, then you need to look at her life, because no wonder she's sitting at home just eating if that's all she had to look forward to was the supermarket. Does she go out? Does she see people? Has she got a social life still? 70 is not that old in the great scheme of things.
Yeah. But I think if you've limited your mobility, suddenly 70 does seem old, because... as you say, I'm not going out. I'm not seeing people. It has to come from her, that spark of, right, I'm going to do this. But And it must be so frustrating for people who love her or are thinking, in a minute, I'm going to have to be looking after this woman, because you want to help. You want to provide the spark. You want to provide the motivation. But I don't think you can.
It has to come from her.
It has to come from her.
So that's why I think the underlying problem needs to be addressed. And also now, we do have these GLP-1 drugs that people can take that help with losing weight. But I again, you need motivation. They don't work. It's not magic.
Yeah. If you
like Ozempic or Wegovy.
Yeah, but no, but you can still eat on those things if you want to.
Yeah.
It takes away, I think some people, it does take away their appetite. But if you're eating for other reasons, it's not going to stop
like loneliness, like boredom.
Yeah.
What does she do at home all day? All these things I think need to be looked at rather than, the end result is that she's getting fatter and she's losing her mobility. You need to find out why and give her that reasoning back. Should we see what the Wangs?
Well, it'd be interesting to see what the Wangers think, because I think, the temptation is things like, get a dog and da-da-da. But I think she'll just, the dog won't get walked.
It seems that she's gone past that point. And, there are some 70-year-olds who are very happy to just watch Homes Under the Hammer.
Well, I quite like Homes Under the Hammer.
So do I.
Yeah. Dickinson's real deal. Hello.
Okay, let's see. Liv from New York says, when it comes to the issues of someone's weight, context is so important. Did your mother-in-law go through anything particularly difficult over this time, as she might be struggling with depression or some other anxiety that is making it hard for her to leave the house and be active? This is most likely why she is rejecting the help and support from you all, although buying someone unsolicited exercise equipment can instill a bit of resentment, regardless of the best intentions. Instead of telling her what she needs to do about her health, it may be more productive to show her what activity and community she can engage in if she were to get up and out every day.
I mean, inviting her places, giving her things to do, rather than kind of nagging her about, you must go for a walk. Say, we're going out to do this.
Yeah.
We're going to the garden centre. We're going to the coast. We're going to have a lunch, something, salad for you. But...
Yeah. Spider's web and some grass for you.
but just things to get her out of the house. Because we don't know how heavy this woman is now, but it'll get to a point where it's harder for her to get in and out of cars, all of that sort of stuff. So,
well, it sounds to me like she's on the cusp of sort of mobility scooter already, but as she gets her everything delivered, there's no reason for her to go out. But what sort of life is that for somebody just staying in all the time? So I do feel, rather than nagging Robert and telling her, come on, you've got to get your steps in, you've got to be proactive with this.
Yeah, and give her reasons to leave the house.
And give her reasons and give her something to look forward to, an excitement. And then hopefully she'll get her mojo back, which is clearly what she's lost. Matt in Hove says, my mum had a similar issue a few years ago, and I've stopped framing it with phrases like, it's about your health, because it fills her with shame and negativity. I tried to have conversations about what she likes doing and then doing it with her. Since then, in the summer, we go swimming a lot. She's also 70 and loves it. She's now made a group of friends, all of similar ages, and they all swim together and socialise, etc. We also capitalised on her love for nature and the outdoors and bought a National Trust membership. One word of warning, try and stay away from the National Trust cafes because they are littered with very unhealthy treats, which nullify the good work the walking does. I think that's good advice, Matt.
Yeah, all of that's good.
And you've taken it, by the horns and done things with your mum, which I think is the key.
And actually, it's both those people are saying, that idea of giving exercise equipment or talking to them about, we're worried about your health.
That's heavy in
your head. And also,
it
seems impossible. It just suddenly, it seems insurmountable. Whereas, we're going to Wentworth House. Great, let's go.
See, that what you're doing is not caring, you're nagging. If you were caring, you would be doing these things with her and giving her motivation and so on. And yes, it's boring and dull to have a parent that needs kind of looking after, but that's what they did for you.
Yeah,
so,
but at 70, you shouldn't be looking after your mother.
No, but that's the way they're going. What are you trying to do, dog?
I don't know.
Okay.
Trying to get up. Here you go.
Alison says, your mother-in-law knows how to lose weight, see the previous 10-stone loss, so your weight loss-focused suggestions and purchases are fool's errands. Stop them. Maybe she needs a special event to look forward to as an incentive to lose weight. Perhaps focus on that and see what happens. That's kind of what we're saying, Alison.
Yeah.
Voice note.
It's from Luke in Wicklow.
Is that an island?
Sure it is now. What does Luke have to say?
Sounds like you've been pushing her away and making her feel judged for the last 13 years. These situations, parents don't listen the same way we didn't listen when we were teenagers. She has to find out for herself. She could be paralyzed by the fact that she's been given all this weird encouragement. That could be paralyzing. A dog, maybe, but let go. Let go.
I feel like Luke might work in therapy or something.
I like Luke.
Yeah, no, very sensible. Apart from the dog thing, because that dog will just sit in the house. That won't, if she doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that will motivate her.
There's a lot of people on the coast where I live that have mobility scooters and they take their dog for a walk on their mobility scooter. So they're out in air, they're seeing people, they're chatting. You can do those things. And hopefully, because she's only 70, maybe if she loses a bit of weight, she won't need a mobility scooter. But maybe that's, don't get it if you don't need it yet.
Yes. Okay. Any more for any more?
Yeah. Rebecca says she's 70. She knows she's overweight. She doesn't need it explained to her. What you're missing is the lifetime that came before this moment. Decades of being watched, judged and commenting on. Her body treated as public property in a way men simply don't experience. Smile more, eat less, move more, be better. If after all that she's decided she's done performing health and virtue for other people, that isn't denial, it's sovereignty. So while she's enjoying popping chocolates into her mouth in peace, you can do her the courtesy of putting a sock in yours. She's earned the right to live in her body on her terms. Stop trying to manage her, stop pretending this is about concern, and let the woman get on with her life. Well, true, Rebecca, but her life will be significantly shorter.
And also, it will impact other people. You're talking about, it's her sovereignty, but actually, no, because her decisions are directly influencing and affecting her children and her son-in-law and all of that. Because they're going to have to deal with this. So in principle, I understand what Rebecca's saying, but in practical terms, no, I think, you have to hope that this woman can turn things around.
There is a bit of a selfishness, I think you're right, but she has also given up. So try to stop. That is the deal, I think.
Robert, the universal advice here is don't nag and try and find some activities together. Hopefully some of that helped. Right, and Am I Weird is in our future. Who have we got?
Yes. Today's Am I Weird comes from Annie in Germany. Hi, Graham and Maria. Am I weird that every Thursday my flatmate and I pretend that I'm a dog for half an hour?
Yes.
That about wraps it up, I think.
Yeah, I think that's...
It all started after my flatmate mentioned that she'd love to have a pet. I refused to get an animal in this flat as we're students, but I offered myself to play a pet once a week. Instead, it's called Doggie Donnerstag in German, which means Doggie Thursday in English. In case you're wondering what it looks like, we're not. As soon as I hear her going into the kitchen in the morning of a Thursday, I make dog sounds and she prepares a bowl of water for me. I have drunk from it, but I usually use the water for my flowers, so it's basically a reminder for me to water them. So smart. Sometimes she pets me. Last week, I found a dog blanket next to the water bowl, which I found really lovely. My friends, yes, I do have friends, think it's a bit weird, but we're bored students, so we try and fill our week.
Don't they have daytime telly?
Daytime TV?
Yeah. Oh, I really hope Doggie Donnerstag doesn't become a thing. Really?
I feel there's something kind of vaguely sexual going on here with the being petted by your flatmate.
Yeah.
Get a room, basically.
Soon,
have one.
Annie's going to be humping her leg in a minute, isn't she? Yeah.
Well, that is the ultimate, obviously. That is what happens eventually. If you get too much love from your owner, you have to do a little bit of humping.
Look, you're not harming anyone. You're not harming anyone. But I feel, Annie, that once this stops, as in when you stop living together, you must never mention it again. Ever.
To anyone.
To anyone. It must be, it never happened.
I think this will reach an ultimate conclusion, which might be that there is some sort of sexual activity. And then I'm afraid one of you have to die.
Dogs don't live that long.
I know. Every year is 7 years in human terms.
Your flatmate will bring you to the vet. And that'll be the end of it.
Are we saying weird or not weird?
To be honest, Annie, you're not doing anyone any harm. So if it floats your boat, do it. But I would say weird.
Yeah, I'd say weird.
I'm walking into the flat and I'm going, sweet Jesus, that's weird.
Yeah.
There.
Because where does it stop? It'll be a collar next and a lead, and you'll be going out on the Autobahn in Germany.
Yeah, lifting your leg. At least she hasn't got to that state
Yeah,
yet.
but at the moment, it's not doing anybody any harm. But maybe get on a TV show like Eurotrash or something.
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
The modern day equivalent.
Yeah. Doggie Donnerstag. Oh, you could do, do you know what? A YouTube channel.
Yeah, look, there's a room for everyone, isn't there? On the YouTube. And so petting dogs.
So I think viewers will be disappointed that all that happens is she drinks a bit from a bowl.
They'll have to up their game.
And then puts it in the flowers.
No, they'll have to up their game for YouTube. And I think they'd be happy to up their game.
I think Annie is waiting to hear a can opener.
For those worms to start wiggling out.
Yeah, and to be, and just kind of like, lovely chum.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no.
I was thinking of the can of worms of where this could go.
Yeah, chummen.
Chummen.
Whatever. What's German for chum?
I don't know.
Freund.
Freund? Is it?
Yeah. Isn't Freund friend? It probably is. Well, Annie, well done for writing in with your Am I Weird? Good girl. Good girl. Get off the sofa. Do you think with all telly she has to sit on the floor?
You want a little treat?
Yeah.
Little treat.
Anyway, that is the end of this edition of Wanging On with Graham and Maria.
For advice from proper experts about any of life's dilemmas, head to our Instagram and click on to the link for support services. You can find that on @WangingOn.
Wanging On with Graham and Maria is a listen production. And guess what?
Yeah.
Next week, we're doing it all again. So we'll see you then. Goodbye.